Yeah, I have a special energy update for June 4th. I don't know about you, but I've noticed the last few days have been pretty emotionally intense. So maybe you're noticing more relationship tension, more overwhelm. Maybe there's been some more frustration or more questioning about what isn't sustainable in your life. And if so, you are not alone. I've been noticing a very similar pattern showing up across everybody that I've been talking to. And I wanted to share some thoughts about the energy that we're moving through right now. So we are currently moving through the Gate 35 in Human Design, which is often called the Gate of Change. And this is an energy that carries a deep desire for movement, for growth, for new experiences and progress. At its highest expression, it helps us expand beyond old limitations. But when we're tired, overwhelmed, emotionally activated, or feeling stuck, that same energy can create a restlessness and impatience. It can convince us that something needs to change immediately. And what I've been noticing over the last several days is a growing sense of emotional pressure. People are becoming more aware of what feels sustainable and what doesn't, and honestly, mostly what doesn't, right? What feels aligned and what doesn't, what has been working and what no longer works. And some of these realizations may be quite valid. The challenge is that awareness and action are not always meant to happen at the same speed. And right now, many people seem to be experiencing this awareness through emotional activation. There's frustration and conflict and overwhelm. And we're being triggered by old wounds that are being touched and poked at and prodded. And when that happens, it becomes very easy to assume that the external stimulation is the problem. So one aspect of the shadow of hunger in the Gate 35 is projection. We become uncomfortable internally and begin searching externally for the source. So the relationship becomes the problem, the job becomes the problem, the friend becomes the problem, the circumstance becomes the problem. And sometimes these things genuinely do need to change, but not always. And sometimes what we're actually experiencing is an activated pain. It's a pain body, triggered nervous system, that old wound or familiar pattern that's being brought up inside us. And if we step back, we may notice the filter that is coloring how we're seeing the situation. When we're looking through that filter, everything can feel urgent. Everything can feel obvious. The mental chatter that we have feels like it knows exactly what's happening. And then we feel like we need to resolve it immediately. But emotional intensity does not always equal clarity. So before making decisions, ask yourself one of these questions, maybe several of these questions, right? What story am I telling myself right now? What assumptions am I making? What emotions are present? What part of me is speaking? What am I focusing on? And maybe most importantly, what is still going to feel true when my nervous system settles? Because the energy right now may absolutely be revealing what no longer is sustainable, but it may not be revealing it in its final form yet. So if you're feeling activated this week, try slowing down before making any major decisions. Maybe journal instead of reacting. Moving your body to help move the energy and process the emotional energy that's showing up inside you. Maybe you want to talk things through with somebody that you trust. Take a step back and take a break from trying to problem solve. Spend some time in nature. It's getting beautiful out, at least it is here. Returning your attention to what is actually happening rather than the pattern that your mind is predicting. And allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without assuming that you need to act on it right away. There is wisdom in what is surfacing right now. And there is information in the discomfort, in the frustration, in the conflict that is going to be valuable for us. But the information and the action are not the same thing. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is to observe before we decide. So I encourage you to allow this energy to move through you. Allow the emotions to settle and trust that what is truly aligned will still be true once the intensity passes. So you're not in this alone. You've got the ability to navigate it. Just take that step back, trust the process, bring yourself some grace and compassion, and remind yourself that you've got this.